It is early. I don't know the exact time anymore because the clocks went out days ago. The only way I know morning from night now is by the color of the sky and how the air changes. Right now it's cold. My breath comes out in these white little clouds that fade as fast as I can make them. I'm sitting here in this little room with a battery that I've been guarding like it's a heart. The power that's keeping this radio alive is coming from an old car battery that I found behind the station. I got it hooked up with some wires that probably weren't meant to be bent like that, but it's holding up. Every time I speak now, I'm scared this might be the last time it works. If you can hear me out there, my name is Aaron Cole. I'm in a studio in Des Moines, Iowa. I used to talk about sports on this station. Now I'm just talking to stop myself from going crazy. If you had to choose a place to hole up during the collapse, what city, state, or building would it be? Why? It's been almost a week since everything went black. I still don't even know what to call it. Some kind of attack or accident or maybe both. Nobody's giving answers. Everything was normal until it wasn't. The last normal thing I remember is sitting here last Friday afternoon. It was about 4:30, maybe 5. I was going over stats for the weekend game. The weather outside was strange. There was this heavy stillness in the air, like before a storm, but there weren't any clouds. It was sunny and too bright, and the sky was this washed-out blue. People were out, walking fast, like they could feel something was about to happen. I felt it too, but I ignored it, because that's what you do when you're used to normal life. Then, I don't even know how to explain it. Every screen in the studio flashed white at the same time. Every single one. My laptop, the old monitor that barely works, the phone screen in my pocket, even the big TV in the lobby. They just went pure white. No warning, no pop-up, nothing. Then they died. I thought it was a power surge at first, but the lights didn't go out right away. Outside, on the street, cars just stopped. Like someone reached into every engine at the same time and pulled something out. Horns blared for a second, and then they went silent. And then came the screaming. People running around, trying to get their phones to work, trying to open their cars. Nobody's keys would even turn. It only took minutes for the panic to set in. I remember standing at the window, my hands on the glass, watching a woman holding her baby in one arm and shaking her dead phone in the other, like she was trying to wake it up. And then the lights went out. No sound, no traffic, just the sound of people crying and shouting in the street. The next few hours are a blur. I know I stayed here in the studio until it got dark because there was nowhere to go. By the time I worked up the nerve to leave, the sky was this deep purple and the air smelled like burning rubber. Some of the cars had caught fire. That was day one. Since then, it's been different every day. The city is turning into something I don't even recognize. The first 2 days, everyone was still in denial. You could see people walking around with their phones held up in the air, hoping for a signal, like somehow that would change anything. Then food started running out. By the 3rd day, people started breaking into the grocery stores. It wasn't violent at first. People just wanted to eat. But when the shelves went empty, things got ugly. I saw a guy hit another guy with a crowbar over a box of cereal. The water stopped running yesterday morning. That was the moment I think it really sank in. This isn't coming back. I don't know how many of you are left to hear this. I know the station's reach doesn't go as far as it used to with the main towers down. I climbed up there myself to look. The big relay tower out on Easton Boulevard is just a dead skeleton now. I think I'm barely pushing signal out across the city with this rig. People keep asking me what I think happened. They come here sometimes, knock on the door and ask like I have answers. I don't know for sure, but I keep thinking about what Mark said. Mark was a technician here. He used to work for one of those defense contractors before he retired. He was here when it happened. He told me before he left to go find his wife that this wasn't random. He said it was nanotech. I didn't even know what that meant when he said it. I thought he was talking about some science fiction thing. He said something about how they'd been testing these tiny machines that could eat through circuits, rewrite them, even break them apart on a molecular level. Said it was the future of warfare. Invisible weapons. He thought someone let it loose. Maybe on purpose. Maybe by mistake. The way he explained it made me sick. Like once they're out there, you can't stop them. He said they can move through the air like dust, that they can eat through metal, that they don't even need power because they feed on the systems they destroy. I laughed at him at first, told him he sounded like he was out of a comic book. But then I started thinking about how everything just stopped at the same time. If you're out there, if you can hear me, this is what I need you to do. Get away from the cities. Find water that isn't from a tap. If you can, find canned food. Learn how to boil water over a fire. Go back to the things that don't need power, because the power isn't coming back. I've been sleeping in here with the blinds closed because I don't want to see what's out there anymore. Yesterday, I heard gunshots. A lot of them. I don't know who was shooting or why. There's a part of me that wants to leave this city, but another part of me thinks if I leave, there'll be nobody left talking. And talking, it feels like all we have left. I keep thinking about my sister. She was in Chicago when all this started. I don't know if she's alive. I keep saying her name out loud in case somehow she hears me through all this static. If anyone out there can hear this, I'm on 96.7 FM, Des Moines. This is Aaron Cole. I'll stay on as long as this battery lets me. I'll talk until my voice stops or someone stops me. Today is cold and it smells like smoke. The sky has this strange color to it, like ash mixed with fog. I can't tell if it's morning or afternoon. It doesn't matter. I'll keep talking. I can't stop thinking about how fast it all went. You think the world is strong. You think all these buildings and roads and lights mean something, but they go out faster than you can blink. I used to think I was prepared for anything, but I wasn't ready for this. None of us were. When I close my eyes, I see that flash, that white light, and then nothing. It's been quiet today, quieter than usual. I can't decide if that's good or bad. There's this ringing in my ears now that I can't get rid of. It's not from the radio. It's inside my head. I'm going to stay here a little longer and talk about what I've seen so far. The gas stations are useless. Even if there was fuel, there's no way to pump it. Everything is digital. The hospitals are full. I went there on the second day, thinking maybe there would be news. The lobby was dark except for candles. People were lying on the floor. Nurses were crying. Nobody could reach anyone. The machines they rely on, all dead. That's when it hit me how many lives depend on the kind of power we don't even think about. I watched a man die because the ventilator he was on just shut off. I've seen some things I'll never be able to forget. But I've also seen something I didn't expect. Yesterday, behind the station, there's this old man who lives down the block. He came by with a wagon full of bottled water. He said he had been storing it for years because he always thought something like this could happen. He just started handing them out to people. Didn't ask for anything. That's the only reason I have water right now. People like that, they're the reason I keep doing this. If you're still listening, keep going. Don't lose yourself in the noise. I'll talk again in a few hours if I can. This is Aaron Cole, 96.7 FM, Des Moines. Stay alive. I'm back on. I don't even know why I say that like I left. I haven't left this room for more than 10 minutes at a time since everything happened. I go out to get water from the wagon the old man left. I take a look at the sky, and I come back. I keep the door locked behind me. The battery is holding up for now. I've got it on this little folding table, and I just keep staring at the red light to make sure it's still alive. It's the only light in here other than a candle. I want to tell you about the second night because that was the first time I thought about dying. I laid down on the studio floor and tried to sleep. There was this weird glow outside, like the whole city was lit by these low orange lights. That glow wasn't from electricity. It was from fires. Little ones at first. Cars burning. Garbage bins on fire because someone thought that would keep them warm. I opened a window for just a second to listen. You could hear the fires popping and cracking, and behind that, you could hear people yelling. Some of them were yelling for help. Some of them were yelling because they were angry. I closed the window because I couldn't tell which ones I could help and which ones I couldn't. I never thought I would see a city this silent. And then, when it's not silent, it's worse. I think that's how people go crazy. The quiet drives you out of your head, and the noise brings fear. You know what nobody talks about when the world stops? The smell. Everything smells like rot now. Food going bad. Trash that can't get picked up. The air tastes like it. On the third day, I saw something I still can't make sense of. I was out near the parking lot, looking for anything I could use for fuel. There was a man standing in the middle of the road, not moving, just staring straight ahead like he was in some sort of trance. His face was gray like he hadn't slept in years. I called out to him. I said, "Hey, are you okay?" He didn't move. He didn't even blink. I don't know how long he stood there like that, but when I turned around to look again, he was gone. Just gone. I don't know if it's connected to all of this or if he just broke. People break different ways. I've been trying to write things down so I don't forget the timeline of how everything has fallen apart. Maybe one day somebody will find this notebook and it'll help them understand what happened here. Day 1. The flash. Cars and phones dead. Day 2. Panic, fires, no law. Day 3. Water stops in some parts of the city. Looting starts. Day 4. The whole city smells like smoke. Hospitals shut down. It's day 5 now. Day 5 without power, without answers, without even a rumor that help is coming. And the strangest thing is that the government isn't saying anything. No planes, no helicopters, no one coming down the road to check on us. The city is like an island, and we're cut off from everything else. If there are still military bases out there, they aren't coming here. Someone left a note on the door this morning. It was written in pencil on the back of a cereal box. It said, "Leave while you can." The machines are still in the air. I don't know what that means. Machines in the air. I keep thinking about what Mark said, about nanotech being able to float around like dust, invisible. It makes me think about every breath I take, like maybe it's inside me already. I know how that sounds. I know I'm not supposed to talk like that, Because if anyone out there is still listening, they need hope, not fear. But I promised myself I'd tell the truth. I can't lie about what I see. The air feels different now. I can't explain it. It feels heavier, like it's sticking to my skin. There are no bugs. That's something I didn't notice until today. Not a single fly or mosquito. I don't know what that means. Maybe the little machines killed them too. I can't believe I missed the sound of flies. If you're near water, boil it. If you find old paper maps, keep them. If you see a wind-up radio, take it. Anything that doesn't need batteries is worth more than gold now. And if you see someone alone, don't just walk past them. Talk to them. Even if it's just for a minute. We don't have screens anymore. The only connection left is voice to voice. I don't know what's happening outside the city, but if it's the same everywhere, then everything we thought made the world strong was just a thin sheet of glass. And now, it's shattered. I don't think I've eaten more than a can of beans in 2 days. My body feels light, but my head feels heavy. I keep my belt pulled tight because it tricks me into thinking I'm not hungry. The city's changed shape in my head. It used to be streets and buildings. Now it's sounds and smells. This block smells like burnt plastic. That one smells like old oil. This one is quiet except for a dog barking somewhere. That one has people crying in the distance. If anyone out there knows how to fix an old generator, I need you. There's one in the basement of this building. It's rusted, but if I could get it working, I could stay on the air longer. Sometimes I wonder who I'm even talking to. Maybe there's nobody out there. Maybe these words are just bouncing off the sky and coming back to me. But maybe there's one person, just one who hears this and it keeps them going. That's enough. I'll stay on as long as I can. I was thinking about how this all started. I keep replaying the moment of the flash in my head. I remember thinking it looked like snow falling inside the screens, like static snow, tiny and fast, right before they went white. I never thought of it before, but maybe that was the machines eating the screens from the inside. If that's what it was, then maybe it was already inside the devices before we even saw it. I don't know. I feel like there are 1,000 questions and no one left to answer them. If this really is nanotech, if these little machines really did this, I don't think we're ever getting back to normal. There's something I haven't said yet, because it sounds crazy. But I've been holding it in for days, and I need to say it now. On the second night, after the fires died down, I saw lights moving across the sky. They weren't planes. They didn't make a sound. They were just streaks of white moving slow, like they were scanning the ground. I watched them from the roof of this building. They were so far away, I couldn't tell how big they were. I don't know what they were looking for. If anyone else has seen them, you're not alone. I know it sounds insane, but I swear they were real. I feel like the air itself is alive now. This is Aaron Cole. I don't know how much longer this battery is going to last. I'm going to stop for a little while so I can save power. I'll try again when it gets dark. If you can hear me, stay alive. I don't know if anyone can still hear this. The signal feels weaker every time I turn the transmitter back on. I can see the little needle on the board barely holding steady. The static comes and goes, and sometimes I have to hit the side of the table just to make the light come back on. I keep expecting it to go dark for good. If you hear silence one day, it's not because I gave up. It'll be because this thing finally ran out of life. It's night now, or maybe early morning. I can't tell anymore. The air outside has this deep black color to it. The moon was out for a little while, but it looked strange. Dimensoise. Like it was covered in a thin sheet of gray glass. The stars look blurry too, like there's a film over everything. It's so quiet outside that every sound stands out. Somewhere far away there's metal clanging. Somewhere else there's a single shout. I don't know if it's anger or pain. It doesn't matter. It echoes forever. I've been thinking about how fast everything went wrong. 5 days ago, people were worried about gas prices. People were fighting over politics on TV. People were posting videos of their dinners. 5 days later, there's no TV, no dinner, no gas, just darkness. I was sitting here thinking about my parents. They're in Omaha. At least they were. I don't know if they're alive. I keep hoping somehow this signal is reaching them. Mom, Dad, if you can hear this, I'm okay. I'm scared, but I'm okay. I'm staying in the studio, and I've got some food left. If you can, try to find a place with water. Try to stay out of the cities. I love you. I don't think they'll hear that. But saying it feels better than holding it in. I saw something today that scared me more than the fires. I was walking back from the side alley with a couple of bottles of water when I noticed something on the hood of one of the cars that hasn't moved since the first day. It was like a layer of dust, but it wasn't dust. It was moving. Slow. Like waves. I took a stick and touched it. It moved away from the stick, like it didn't want to be touched. I left it alone. When I came back an hour later, the whole hood of the car was clean. Like whatever that stuff was had gone inside. I don't know if that means anything, but I thought I should tell you. I think Mark was right. This isn't just a blackout. It's something alive. I tried to sleep after that, but I kept dreaming about machines crawling over everything. Machines too small to see. When I woke up, I decided I needed to make a list. If anyone is listening, maybe this list can keep you alive a little longer. First, water. If you have a bathtub, fill it. Even if it looks clean, boil it. I've been using an old metal pot and some matches I found in the kitchen downstairs. Second, food. Anything in a can will last. Bread is already going bad. Milk was gone the first day. Third, stay away from crowds. When people are scared, they do things they never thought they'd do. Fourth, if you see something that looks like dust but moves, don't touch it. Fifth, find something that doesn't need power. A wind-up radio, a lantern, a manual can opener. Those things are gold now. I know I sound like some survival nut. I used to laugh at people who stocked up on beans and bottled water. But those people were right. The city looks different now. The bright signs and screens that made it feel alive are all dead. The gas stations are just shells. The grocery stores look like skeletons. I went past the park on my way back from the alley earlier. It was full of people. Not playing, not walking dogs. Just sitting. Staring at nothing. Some of them had little fires going, cooking whatever they found. I sat down on a bench for a while. Nobody talked. It was like everyone was waiting for someone else to say what to do next. I wanted to tell them to leave the city, to get away, but I didn't. I don't know if it would have helped. It's strange how fast we go from being strangers to being nothing. 5 days ago, you wouldn't sit next to a stranger without saying something. Now we sit side by side like ghosts. I haven't seen the old man with the wagon again. I hope he's okay. He had this look in his eyes, like he'd been waiting for this day, like he knew it would happen. I think about him every time I drink the water he gave me. I think about my sister every time I close my eyes. I keep hearing stories from the few people who still come by the station. They say out on the edge of the city there's a highway full of cars that just stopped. Nobody moved them. They're still there, lined up like a metal graveyard. Some people tried to walk out, but came back saying they saw something out there at night. Lights that aren't headlights, shapes that move in the dark. I don't know if I believe them, but I know I haven't been out past the edge since all this started. I can feel myself getting weaker every day. My hands shake sometimes when I try to hold the microphone. I can feel the hollowness in my chest. I keep thinking about all the things I used to waste. Time, food, batteries. Now every single thing matters. I think that's the hardest part. Knowing that we had everything and now we have nothing because we weren't ready. If there's anyone out there listening, I need you to listen close now. Whatever is happening, it's not over. This is just the start. If you hear me, do not wait for someone to come save you. No one is coming. I'm saying that because I don't want you to sit in a house waiting for a rescue that isn't coming. Make a plan. Get to higher ground. Get away from crowds. Build a small group you trust. And if you can, keep talking to someone, even if it's just your own voice. Silence is worse than hunger. I've been trying to hold on to small things. There's a tree outside the station window that hasn't burned yet. Every morning, I look at it to see if it's still standing. As long as it's there, I tell myself I can keep going. I don't know how much longer I can do this. The battery is holding for now, but I don't know for how long. If I stop, I'll try to come back when I can. I'm going to try to sleep now. If I wake up, I'll be back on when the sky changes color again. This is Aaron Cole. If you hear me, you're not alone. I don't know if I slept or just closed my eyes for a while. The window looks a little lighter now, so maybe it's morning. My back hurts from lying on this floor. The studio carpet is stiff, like it's been soaked in dust. There's a smell in here I can't get rid of, no matter how many candles I burn. It smells like old wires, like burnt plastic, and sweat mixed together. I didn't dream last night, which is strange because every other night since this started has been full of dreams. Dreams where everything works again for a few minutes and then melts. Dreams where the screens light up and faces come out of them. Last night, nothing. Just black. When I woke up, I thought maybe I had died in my sleep, but I guess I'm still here. The battery light is weaker today. I don't know how many more of these I'll be able to do. I keep telling myself to save it, but every time the silence stretches too long, I have to break it. I can't stand the sound of nothing anymore. The streets look emptier today. Even the people who used to walk up and down trying to find a signal have stopped. I think most of them have gone into their houses or left the city. Or maybe they didn't make it through the night. There's a paper stuck to the window outside the station. It wasn't there yesterday. Someone wrote one word on it in huge black letters. Breathe. I don't know if that's a warning or a joke or a prayer. I spent an hour looking at that word before I came back in. Breathe. Like it's something we all forgot how to do. The air feels heavy. I've been saying that for days, but today it's worse. It feels thick in my throat, like I'm breathing in fog that isn't there. I keep coughing even though I'm not sick. The city is so quiet now that I can hear things from blocks away. Somewhere to the south, I hear metal scraping on pavement. Somewhere to the east, I hear glass breaking, Just one pain, like someone dropped a bottle. I wonder if those sounds are people, or if they're the little machines working their way through the city. I don't know why I keep calling them machines, like I know that's what they are. I never saw one. But Mark's words stuck in my head. Machines in the air. That's what I think about every time I breathe. If anyone out there knows more about this, about what's happening, I wish you could tell me. I sit here with the microphone and I wait like maybe someone's going to talk back, but they never do. I remember when the power first went out, I thought it would come back in an hour. Then I thought it would come back the next morning. By the third day, I stopped waiting. I can't stop thinking about the people who need machines to live. People on oxygen, people in hospitals, babies in incubators. I think about them every night, and it makes my chest hurt. When I walked down to the street this morning, I saw that someone had dragged a mattress out to the curb and just left it there. It was clean, white, no stains, and on top of it, there were flowers. Like someone had made a bed for someone who didn't wake up. The flowers were already starting to wilt. I think we're past the point of waiting for help. I think if you want to stay alive, you have to make yourself invisible. Stay low. Stay quiet. Move when you need to and hide when you don't. If you're still in a city, start thinking about leaving. If you can, find a way to a place where there are more trees than people. I know that sounds easy to say from here, but I keep telling myself the same thing. I keep thinking about the highways out of town. I imagine walking them at night. Just walking until the city lights are gone. But there aren't even lights anymore. There's nothing to walk away from. Last night I heard something new. It wasn't voices. It wasn't gunshots. It was this low hum, deep like it came from under the ground. It lasted for maybe 2 minutes, and then it was gone. It scared me in a way I can't explain. The hum made me think about those streaks of light I saw on the second night. The way they moved. The way they didn't make a sound. The way they felt like they were looking at everything. I don't know if that hum was connected. Every time I hear something new, I wonder if I'm just losing my mind. The world outside this window is so still that it feels like it's waiting for something. Like we're all waiting for the next part to start. I don't know what that part is going to be. I keep checking the parking lot for that dust I saw moving yesterday. It's gone, but the car hood where it was is pitted and eaten like something was chewing through it. If those little things can do that to metal, what do they do to people? I don't want to know. I keep thinking about the words someone left on my window. Breathe. It's all I can do. I don't know if there's anybody left out there, but if there is, I want to tell you something. I want you to remember what the world used to sound like. I want you to remember the sound of your favorite song coming out of a phone speaker, the sound of a microwave beeping, the sound of a friend laughing on the other end of a call. I want you to remember those sounds because they're gone now, and they might never come back. But your own voice is still here. If you can talk, talk. Say your name. Say where you are, even if nobody answers. I know it sounds stupid, but that's the only thing keeping me alive right now. I'm Aaron Cole. I'm in Des Moines. I'm still here. If you're out there, just say the same thing. Say your name. Say you're still here. I don't know how much longer I can do this. The light on the battery is dim. My hands shake all the time now. But I'm going to try to keep this station on as long as I can. I'm going to hold out for one more night. If you hear this, if you're alive, hold out with me. One more night, I've been sitting here for hours staring at the door. I don't know why. Nothing has changed. The same broken lock. The same marks on the wood from when someone tried to pry it open a couple days ago. The air in here tastes like old cardboard. There's no smell of food left, just that smell of stale air, wires, and the candle wax that I keep burning down to the last drop. The street outside looks emptier every day. I used to hear footsteps out there. Now it's mostly just wind. Every once in a while there's a noise that makes me hold my breath. Something falling, or a quick run of feet, but not often. The quiet feels thicker now. It's like even the air doesn't want to move. I tried to walk a little farther this morning. I made it down to the corner by the little store that used to sell coffee and lottery tickets. The glass was all broken and the floor inside was covered in water. Not running water, just puddles from something leaking above. It was full of wrappers and empty shelves. Whoever came in there last didn't just take what they needed. They ripped everything apart. There was a chair flipped upside down with its legs sticking up like bones. I looked through the back of the store to see if there was anything left, but there wasn't. Just a single can of soup stuck behind a box that was crushed flat. I took it, even though I don't know how long it's been sitting there. You can't be picky anymore. On the way back to the station, I heard a man talking to himself. He was sitting on the sidewalk, rocking back and forth. His lips were cracked, bleeding. He was saying the same words over and over. It's in the wind. It's in the wind. It's in the wind. I wanted to ask him what he meant, but when I got closer, he turned and looked at me, and there was nothing in his eyes. Just emptiness. I kept walking. That's the kind of thing that makes me realize we're all breaking at different speeds. The air feels heavier today than it did yesterday. I keep coughing even when I'm not sick. I think about Mark every time I feel it in my throat. His voice saying the same thing over and over that first night. It's in the air. They let it out. It spreads like dust. There's a film over the cars now. It doesn't blow away when the wind comes. It sticks. It glimmers when the light hits it. I don't know if it's the same stuff I saw moving on that hood the other day. I keep wiping the window here with my sleeve so I can look out. I don't know why I want to see. There's nothing good to see anymore. The battery is almost out. I can hear it in the way the static changes every time I press the button. I found another old battery in the basement, but I don't know if it has a charge. I'm going to try to switch them later tonight. I thought about trying the generator again, but I don't know how to fix it. It just sits there, big and useless, like a dead heart. Every time I stop talking into this mic, I can hear that hum again. It's faint, like it's deep under the ground. I don't know what it is. It doesn't sound like anything I've heard before. It's not like a plane or a truck. It's steady. Last night I went up to the roof to see if I could see where it was coming from. The city looked like a graveyard from up there. No lights, no smoke, just shadows. And then, just like before, I saw those streaks of white light moving in the sky. Only this time there were more of them. Slow, no sound, moving in lines that weren't straight, like they were searching. I swear they stopped for a second over the station. Just stopped, like they were looking. And then they kept going. I stayed on the roof too long. The air burned my throat. My chest still hurts from breathing it. I don't know how much of that was fear, and how much was the air itself. I used to think the scariest thing would be the people, and there are still people doing terrible things out there. But now I think the scariest thing is whatever this is. Whatever's in the sky. There's a part of me that keeps wondering if the world outside the city is still alive. Maybe if you get far enough away, there are places where none of this has reached yet. But if this is in the air like Mark said, how far does it go? I keep imagining the whole map going black, one city at a time. I know this is the point where I should tell you something hopeful. I'm trying. The only hopeful thing I can say right now is that I'm still alive. That's it. That's all I've got. I don't know how much longer I'll stay in the city. Maybe tomorrow I'll try to leave. Maybe I'll take the road west and see how far I can go before my legs give out. I've been living off canned beans and old crackers. I feel lightheaded half the time. If anyone's hearing this, if you're still out there, don't wait. Find a group. Make a plan. Don't wait for a signal that isn't coming. There's a tree outside the window that's still standing. I keep looking at it. The branches haven't moved in 2 days. It's like the wind doesn't reach it anymore. I've been thinking about that word someone wrote on the window. Breathe. I've been trying to breathe slow. It's all I can do. I'll come back on if the battery lets me. I'll keep talking until I can't. This is Aaron Cole, Des Moines, 96.7 FM. If you can hear me, stay alive. Stay awake. I don't know how many days it's been anymore. I'm starting to lose track. I thought it was day 6 when I woke up this morning, but maybe it's 7 or 8. There's no sun you can count on now. The sky just changes from one kind of gray to another. It's lighter now, so I guess it's morning, but it feels the same as night. I changed out the battery last night. It almost didn't work. I spent half an hour in the basement trying to drag that thing up the stairs, and I almost let go. If I had dropped it, that would have been it. When I hooked it up, the light came on so weak, I thought it wouldn't last more than a few minutes. But it's holding for now. The old battery, the one I've been using, is down there too. I keep looking at it like maybe I can find a way to make it hold a little more charge, but I don't know how. I'm not a mechanic. I don't know anything about that stuff. I haven't eaten yet today. I've been saving that can of soup I found in the store. I want to make it last, but every time I move, my stomach twists. The streets are even emptier today. The city doesn't sound like a city anymore. It doesn't sound like anything. It's like all the life just drained out of it. I stood outside for a long time this morning, just looking down the road. There are cars parked in the middle of the street. Some of them have doors open. Some have trunks open. It looks like people just stopped and walked away. The store on the corner has that word written on the wall now. Breathe. Someone else wrote it there overnight. Same letters, same size. I don't know if it's the same person or if there's more than one. I thought about walking farther today just to see if there's any sign of people out there. I don't know what stopped me. Maybe it's the thought that if I go too far, there won't be a reason to come back. Every block I look down is just more emptiness. Yesterday afternoon, I saw something strange on the roof of the building across the street. It looked like a pile of dirt at first, just a dark mound. Then it moved. It shifted like water, and then it was gone, like it slid over the edge, and I couldn't see it anymore. I stayed inside after that. I can't shake the feeling that the air is thicker than it used to be. My throat feels raw. My eyes burn. Sometimes I feel like there's grit in my mouth, even though there isn't. I wonder if that's the machines Mark was talking about. If they're so small, we're breathing them in without knowing. Last night, I had to light a fire in an old coffee tin to heat some water. I did it in the hall, not in the studio, because I didn't want to fill this room with smoke. The fire barely burned. It was like the air itself didn't want to feed it. I keep trying to remember what life was like before that flash. What a day used to feel like. Waking up and thinking about work, coffee, traffic, music. All of that feels fake now. I don't know why I didn't notice how fragile it all was before. Sometimes I wonder if this is just the city, if there's a place out there where things are still normal. If there is, I wish someone from there would hear this and tell me what it's like. I don't think I'll ever get used to the silence. Yesterday, I went looking for food in the alley behind the station. There's a dumpster there that used to always smell bad. Now there's nothing. It's empty. The alley is lined with old newspapers, but they're wet and stuck to the ground. There's a playground at the end of the alley. I went there just to see. It's strange how quiet it is. The swings aren't even moving anymore. I used to hear them squeak in the wind sometimes. I saw a toy car on the ground there. Bright red. Clean. It looked out of place, like it had been left there minutes ago, but there was nobody around. I picked it up and then put it back down. When I walked back, I saw footprints in the dirt. Small ones. A kid. I followed them a little, but they just stopped, like whoever it was disappeared. That scared me more than anything. I came back to the studio and locked the door. I can feel myself getting weaker every day. My voice feels thin, but I have to keep talking. I've been thinking about leaving. I think about it every day now. I imagine walking out of the city at night, just following the road. I don't know if I'd make it far. The other night when I was on the roof, I saw something else. I haven't told anyone about it yet. On the edge of the city, there's a glow. Not like a fire, more like a soft white light. It wasn't there before. It just sits there. I don't know what's making it. It scares me. I keep thinking that maybe that's where the hum is coming from. I don't know if I should head toward it or away from it. The old man with the wagon hasn't come back. Nobody has. I think the city is emptying out. If you're still here, if you can hear me, you're not the only one. I don't know how many more of these I can do. The battery won't last forever. But I'll keep talking. I'll keep talking because maybe somewhere, someone is doing the same thing. If you hear this, don't wait. Make a plan. Keep moving. Don't trust the air. I'm going to rest for a bit. If I wake up, I'll be back. This is Aaron Cole, 96.7 FM, Des Moines. I walked farther today than I have since the lights went out. I don't know why I did it. Maybe I was tired of waiting in this box. Maybe the quiet inside here is starting to hurt more than the quiet out there. I left when the sky was still that faint early gray. I took the little hand crank flashlight with me, the one that barely gives out a glow. The streets were damp like it had rained in the night, but there are no clouds. I don't remember the last time I saw rain. It must have been before all of this. At first I thought I'd just go around the block. Then I kept going. I walked past the burned-out diner. The window was cracked open, and there were plates all over the floor, as if someone had been carrying them and dropped them when it happened. One still had dried ketchup on it. That's how fast it all stopped. Mid-bite. Mid-day. Like someone just hit pause on the world. I saw a dog. First one in days. It was a black shepherd, thin and slow. It didn't even bark when it saw me. It just stood there in the middle of the street, staring. When I reached for the can in my pocket, it bolted. It was gone so fast I didn't even see where it turned. That's when I realized how alone this city has become. Even the animals don't want to be near people. I walked down to the highway. I wanted to see for myself what people had been saying. They were right. Cars all the way across, like a dam made out of metal. Doors open. Bags scattered on the ground. Some of the bags looked like they had been there for days. Torn open. Clothes blowing around in the dirt. I didn't see a single person out there. It was so quiet you could hear the metal cooling in the sun. When I walked past the first few cars, I saw something that stopped me. It was on the hood of a white sedan, a thin, dark crust. At first, I thought it was dried mud. Then I saw it moving, just barely, like tiny waves in slow motion. I backed away fast. That's the same stuff I saw before on the car by the station. Whatever it is, it's spreading. Some of the cars had holes in the hoods, small ones, like something had chewed right through. I didn't stay out there long. The air near the highway felt different. Warmer. Heavy. I picked up a paper map from inside one of the cars. I don't even know why. Maybe it's just good to have one. I put it in my backpack and started back. On the way back, I cut through a park I hadn't been in before. It used to be a nice park. You can tell by the way the benches were built, all carved wood. There was a big fountain in the middle that hasn't run in days. The water in it is still, covered in a thin layer of gray dust. Someone had been camping there. There was a tent, but it was empty. Inside there was a blanket and a few empty cans. Whoever was there left fast. There's this thing about empty tents. They feel wrong. They make you feel like you've just missed someone, but you don't know why. On the edge of the park, there's a big brick building. I think it used to be a school. I could hear something inside. Not people. Just a tapping sound. Steady. I didn't go in. When I got back to the station, the sky was darker. My legs hurt. I don't know what I expected to find out there. Maybe I wanted to see someone. Maybe I wanted proof that the city isn't just a grave. All I saw was more emptiness. I keep thinking about leaving. About walking past that highway and seeing where it goes. But that stuff on the cars, whatever it is, has made me scared to try. I think about those streaks of light in the sky and how they hovered that night. I don't know if it's connected to the stuff on the cars. Maybe it is. It feels like the whole city is slowly being eaten. I'm tired. My throat feels raw again. If you're still listening, there are a few things you need to know. Don't touch anything that looks like dust, but moves. Don't drink water unless you boil it. Don't stay out at night. The air feels different then. And don't count on anyone else to come for you. I've been thinking about something Mark said before he left. He said, if they let it out, it doesn't go away. It just learns. I didn't know what he meant at the time. Now I think I do. If those little things are alive, they're learning what to do. I think that's why everything keeps getting quieter. I don't know what's going to happen when they're done. I sat up on the roof tonight after I came back. The glow on the edge of the city is brighter now. I don't know what it is. I can hear that hum louder when I look toward it. Maybe one day I'll try to get closer. For now, I'm staying here. I'm going to hold out as long as I can. If you're out there, if you're still breathing, keep moving. Don't let the quiet swallow you. This is Aaron Cole, Des Moines, 96.7 FM. I'm still here. Last night I heard voices outside. not talking like people do when they argue. It wasn't a group. It was just one voice at a time. Quiet. Sometimes a woman, sometimes a man. Always the same tone. Like they were asking a question I couldn't understand. At first, I thought it was real. I sat up against the wall and held my breath. I thought maybe someone had finally come to the station. I thought about unlocking the door and letting them in. But then I realized the voices were repeating themselves, saying the same sound over and over, and then stopping for long stretches, like they were waiting. I stayed on the floor, and I didn't move. Around 3 a.m, I crawled to the window and looked out through the corner where the glass isn't covered. There was nothing there. The street was empty, but I could still hear the voices. They were close, too close. I shut my eyes and waited for them to fade, but they didn't fade until the sky got lighter. I don't know if those were people. I don't know anymore. I didn't sleep after that. I'm saying this because if you hear something like that, don't answer. Don't step outside. Something about it didn't feel right. The longer I stay here, the more this city feels wrong in ways I can't explain. I went out earlier to look around. The word on the window, BREATHE. Someone scratched it out with a knife or something sharp during the night. You can still see the marks where the letters were. I walked around the block again, but I didn't go as far as yesterday. Every step I took, I could hear the sound of my own shoes echoing. That's how empty it is now. The diner has more broken glass. Someone must have gone in last night. I saw something strange on my way back. Down the road, a streetlight pole had been cut clean in half. It wasn't knocked down. It wasn't bent. It was sliced smooth like a knife had gone through it. I walked up to it and touched the edge. It was cold. I don't know what could do that. Whatever's happening here, it's not just power being gone. I've started thinking, maybe this isn't even about the power anymore. I don't know what's waiting for us out there, but I think it's changing the city. The cars that have been sitting for days are starting to look strange. The edges of the metal aren't sharp anymore. They're smooth, like they've been sanded down. I can't tell if it's from the wind or something else. I keep wiping the window in here so I can see out, but there's a thin layer of that glittery dust on the glass again today. It wasn't there yesterday. I wipe it off, and by the next day, it's back. I think it's falling out of the air at night. If it's in the air, we're all breathing it in. I try not to think about what that means. My hands shake more now. The glow on the edge of the city is even brighter tonight. I can see it without going to the roof. It's like a faint line across the horizon. It doesn't move. It just pulses. I keep thinking about what would happen if I walked toward it. But last night, after the voices, I'm scared to leave this building at all. I want to say something for the few people who are still listening. If you're out there, write things down. Write down where you are, who you're with, what you've seen, even if nobody reads it now, because one day someone might. I've been writing everything in this notebook, page after page of what's happened. When I started this, I thought, maybe I was just talking to myself. Now I know that's true. But I think it matters anyway. Because even if no one hears me now, someone will one day. And maybe they'll understand how it went, how fast it all happened, how easy it was to take everything away. I don't think the city has more than a week left like this. Something is moving through it. I can feel it when I walk outside. The air is thick, The ground feels different. I think the people who are still here are leaving because they can feel it too. And if they don't leave, they'll disappear. I haven't seen the man who used to sit across from the station and talk to himself. I haven't seen the old man with the wagon. The streets that were full of scattered people a few days ago are empty. I don't know what's going to be left when it's just me. I keep thinking about my sister. I keep saying her name into this mic, hoping she can hear me. The hum is stronger tonight. It's so deep, it makes the walls vibrate. It's like the city itself is holding its breath. I'm tired. I'm scared that if I fall asleep tonight, I'll hear those voices again. If you hear voices in the dark, don't answer. This is Aaron Cole, 96.7 FM, Des Moines. I'm still here. I blocked the door today. It feels strange to say that, because there's been nobody around for days. But after last night, I can't leave it unlocked anymore. I pushed a table up against it, then stacked a few chairs and an old filing cabinet in front. It probably wouldn't stop anyone who really wanted in, but it makes me feel like there's something between me and what's out there. The voices came back last night. They were closer. This time I could make out some of the words. My name. I swear I heard my name. Not just once, over and over. Quiet, almost gentle, like a whisper through a wall. It wasn't my sister's voice. It wasn't anyone I know. I sat in the corner of the studio with my hands over my ears, but I could still hear it. It was inside the building. Or maybe it just sounded like it was. When it finally stopped, I sat there until the sky turned pale. I'm so tired that my eyes feel like they're burning all the time. This morning, when I opened the window to look out, the street had changed again. There are no footprints anymore, not even my own from yesterday. It's like the dust covered everything overnight, smoothing it all out. It feels like the city is being erased. I didn't leave the block today. I just walked a short loop around the building. On the back alley wall, someone has drawn circles in charcoal, a row of them, all overlapping. It wasn't there yesterday. I don't know what it means. Every day there's something new that wasn't there before. Something small. Something that makes me feel like I'm being watched. The hum that's been coming from the edge of the city is louder. I can feel it in my chest now. When I stand still, it feels like a slow heartbeat under the ground. The glow hasn't moved. I keep staring at it from the roof, and it feels closer even though I know it's not. I keep thinking about leaving, about walking toward it just to see. But the voices have made me scared to leave the station at night. If they can sound like people, what else can they do? When I came back inside earlier, I noticed something I hadn't before. The wall next to the door has these tiny holes in it, like something was crawling through. They weren't there yesterday. They're the size of pins, perfectly round. I don't know how long before they eat through everything. The cars in the lot are worse today. The edges are soft, like wax that's starting to melt. I saw a man this afternoon, the first one I've seen in days. He was walking fast down the street, carrying a plastic bag with something heavy in it. He didn't look at me. His face was pale. I thought about calling out to him, but I didn't. He walked past like I wasn't even there. That's what this place does to you. It turns everyone into ghosts. I've been rationing the food I have left. A few cans. Some crackers that are going stale. A bottle of water that I'm trying to make last as long as I can. I need to find more soon. I thought about going to the edge of the city where the glow is. Maybe there's something there. But after last night, after hearing my name outside in the dark, I don't know if I could do it alone. I don't think it's safe to trust any sound now. If you hear me and you're thinking about walking at night, don't. Whatever's out there can sound like us. I can feel the weight of the city pressing in. It's like it's shrinking every day. The space I feel safe in gets smaller and smaller. I don't know how long before this room feels too big. I found myself staring at my hands earlier. They're thinner now. My nails have this thin coat of gray dust on them even though I wash them with bottled water. It never comes off completely. I don't know what that means. I don't want to think about what's inside me. I keep talking, because if I stop, the quiet gets too heavy. I know I'm just one voice out here now, maybe the only one. But I'll keep talking as long as I can. Because when I stop, that's when the voices outside get louder. I don't know how much longer this battery will last. It's already dimmer today than it was yesterday. I'll stay on as long as I can. This is Aaron Cole, 96.7 FM. I'm still here. I went out today. I had to. The food is running out. I thought I could stretch it one more day, maybe two, but I can feel my arms getting weaker when I try to carry anything. It's not just hunger. It's like there's no weight in my body anymore. Like I'm hollow. I waited until the sky was as bright as it gets now. It's still not real sunlight. It's this pale color that makes everything look flat, like a faded picture. I packed the little hand crank flashlight, my map, one bottle of water, and I put on 2 jackets even though it isn't cold. The air just feels thin now, and the extra weight makes me feel less like I'll fall over. I headed toward the grocery store I hadn't checked yet. It's on the other side of a big intersection. I thought maybe people hadn't gotten there because it's farther from the center. The streets were even quieter today. Not just no people, no dogs, no birds, nothing. When I crossed the first block, I passed that same playground again. The red toy car was gone. The dirt where the footprints used to be is smooth now, like someone poured water over it and it dried into a hard plate. I walked fast. I didn't want to stop. I didn't even look at the windows. Most of the glass is broken out of them now anyway. At the intersection, I saw something new. There were cars there, but not like the highway. These were stripped clean. No paint, no glass, no rubber. Just bare frames. It looked like something had chewed them down to nothing. The metal was smooth, not torn. I didn't stop to touch them. The store was open, or what's left of it. The front doors are cracked in half. Inside it was dark, the shelves mostly empty, but there was still a smell of food that went bad days ago. I went up and down every aisle with the flashlight. There were wrappers everywhere, torn bags, boxes on the ground. I found 2 cans that had rolled under a shelf. I don't know what's in them because the labels are gone. I took them anyway. I also found an old hand pump water filter in the camping section. It looks like someone dropped it when everything went crazy. When I came out of the store, that's when I heard it. A voice behind me. I froze. It said my name. Just once. I turned around, and there was nobody there. The street was empty, but I could hear the sound of something sliding across pavement, slow, like something being dragged. I ran. I didn't stop running until I was almost back to the station. I know what I heard. It wasn't in my head. When I got to the building, I slammed the door and pulled the table back in front. I sat on the floor with the cans still in my hands for half an hour before I even remembered to lock it. My chest still hurts from running. I don't know how much longer I can stay here. Every day the city feels less like a place you can live and more like a trap. That glow on the edge of the city looks bigger now. I can see it even in the day. I think about heading that way just to get out of here. But if there's something out there making these sounds, calling out like people, what happens when I meet it? I don't know if there's any safe way to leave. The cans I found will buy me another couple of days, maybe. The water filter is the only good thing that came out of this trip. If I can find rainwater or anything clean, maybe I can make it last. I think the machines, if that's what this is, are spreading faster now. The ground looks different when I walk on it. The blacktop feels soft, like it's sinking. If anyone is still listening, please hear this. Stay away from places where the cars look eaten. Stay away from any sound that calls your name. I know how it feels when you hear a human voice and you want to believe it's help. But out there, nothing is help anymore. The world outside feels hollow. When I got back, I just sat here for a long time. I didn't turn the radio on. I just sat in the corner with my head in my hands trying to hear if the voice had followed me back. It hasn't come closer. Not yet. I can still hear the hum, though, louder than it's ever been. It's like something out there is waiting. This is Aaron Cole, 96.7 FM. I'm still here. I'll stay on as long as I can. I woke up this morning and the floor felt different under my hands. That's the first thing I noticed. I always sleep on the same square of carpet near the wall, next to the battery and the gear. But this morning, it felt softer, wet almost, or warm, like it had been breathing all night without me. I sat up and rubbed my eyes, thinking maybe I was just dreaming. But when I looked down, I saw it. Dust. That same shimmering gray dust that's been on the streets, on the cars, on the glass outside. It's inside now. It's here. Thin layers of it on the edge of the floor, near the baseboards, clinging to the cords, packed into the grooves in the wood where the carpet doesn't reach. It's not thick yet, but it's here. I didn't touch it. I got up and backed away, real slow. I stared at it for what felt like an hour. No movement, but I know it will. I've seen what it does. I've seen it pulse on a car hood, shimmer in the sunlight. Now it's under my feet, in my space. It must have come in through the vents, or maybe the cracks in the wall. Maybe it doesn't even need a way in. Maybe it just arrives. Maybe it's always been here and I'm just now seeing it. I didn't eat anything. I couldn't. My stomach knots every time I look at the floor now. Every time I see that dust near the cabinet or under the table, I feel like I'm breathing in something I can't fight. I thought this room was safe, the last place left that hadn't changed. But now, even the inside's turning. I went to the hallway. It's worse out there. There's a smear of the stuff along the wall, running like water frozen mid-drip. It's dry but looks like it's still in motion, and there's a hole in the corner near the floor where the baseboard used to meet the concrete. Something bored through it, smooth and perfect, like a tunnel made by a thing that didn't care it was inside a human place. I almost stepped out. Then I saw something else. My footprints from yesterday. Gone. Wiped. There used to be dirt smudges from my shoes. I'd tracked it in from outside during the grocery run. They were there last night. I remember seeing them. But this morning, clean. Like someone came in and erased them perfectly. I shut the door and moved everything back in front of it again. The station is quiet except for the buzz of the radio setup, but even that sounds thinner now. It's not just the battery. It's like the wires themselves are tired. The signal needle keeps flickering. Sometimes I think it dips because the metal's corroding, not just the power draining. I tried wiping some of the dust away with a cloth. It just smeared. Then it crumbled into flakes like ash and drifted into the air. I backed away fast and held my breath. I opened the window to let air in. But what does it matter? It's probably out there too. It's probably everywhere. I stayed by the window most of the day, staring at the street. It didn't change. No movement, no people, no cars. Just the flat, silent road, smooth and colorless now, like a stage with the curtain drawn. That glow on the horizon is bigger again. I don't even need to go to the roof anymore. I can see it from the studio window. It pulses every few minutes, like a beacon or a warning. And the hum. God, that hum. It's in the walls now. I can feel it when I press my hand against the paneling. It's like a slow breath, a deep vibration you feel more than hear. Something is waking up out there. Or maybe it's already awake, and we just haven't seen the full shape of it yet. The voices came again last night, quieter this time, less like people calling and more like a memory. I heard my mom's voice. She died 4 years ago, but I heard her. I know her voice. She used to call me baby when I got scared. Last night, that's what I heard. Whispered. Right outside the window. But when I looked out, nothing. Whatever it is, it's learning. It knows how to sound like us. It knows how to wait. And now it knows how to come inside. I don't know how much longer I can stay in this building. I thought it would be safe forever. It's not. It's changing. Just like everything else. If you're hearing this, if you're in a place that still feels untouched, don't get comfortable. Don't think walls will keep you safe. If it's in the dust, and the dust is in the air, it's only a matter of time. I don't want to scare you. I want you to know the truth. This isn't just collapse. This is something taking the world apart and rebuilding it into something else. Something quiet. Something slow. Something we don't understand. I don't know what it wants. I don't know if it wants anything at all. Maybe it's just doing what it was designed to do. Maybe it was never meant to stop. But I know it's here now. This is Aaron Cole, 96.7 FM. Still broadcasting, still breathing, but I don't know for how much longer. I tried to seal off this room today. I know it's stupid. You can't stop air from coming in. You can't stop something that's already inside. But I had to try. I used every roll of tape I could find. Old duct tape that barely sticks anymore. I ran it along the cracks in the windows, across the door frame, over the vent covers. It looks messy, like a kid trying to fix a sinking boat with paper. But it's something. It makes me feel like I'm doing more than waiting to be erased. The dust is still here. It clings to the carpet in thin lines where the wall meets the floor. I tried sweeping it up with a broom, and it just rose into the air like smoke. For a second, the whole room was full of it. It shimmered, catching the weak light from the window, and then it settled again, slower than anything I've ever seen. It felt like time stopped while it fell. I put the broom down and backed into the corner. I think I stood there holding my breath for 5 minutes, waiting for it to land. I haven't opened the door since this morning. The hallway's worse than this room now. The holes in the baseboards are bigger. Some of them connect, like tunnels, with little ridges inside them. Smooth, no splinters, like they were carved with heat, I can hear things in there now. Soft, quick movements in the wall, like tapping fingers. Sometimes a faint sliding noise, like someone dragging something metallic on concrete. It happens more at night, but today it started in daylight. And under all of that, there's the hum. It's different now. It's not just low and steady. It has layers. There's a higher tone buried under the low one, like something whistling far away. It's constant. It doesn't fade anymore. I don't know if it's in the ground or in the air or in my head, but it's getting louder. Last night I sat on the floor with my back to the cabinet, just listening. Every so often there was a sound beneath me, deep, metallic, like something crawling inside the foundation, sometimes slow, sometimes fast. I pressed my ear to the floor, and I could feel it moving. I could feel the boards shaking under me, just a little. I don't know how deep it goes. The city doesn't sound like a city anymore. It sounds like a hive. When I close my eyes, I can see it in my head. Little things, too small to see, moving under the pavement, through the pipes, through the walls, eating, replacing, building something I can't see. I keep thinking about the day everything went white. Mark said they could spread like dust. He said once it's out, there's no stopping it. I thought that meant machines breaking. I didn't think it meant everything else breaking too. I don't think this is about shutting us down anymore. I think it's about changing us. Changing the ground, the buildings, the air. I'm scared that if I leave this room, there won't be a city left outside. Just the shell of one, smooth and empty. And I don't think anyone's in charge of it. That's the part that makes me feel sick. We always think there's someone controlling it. Someone on the other end of the string. But what if there isn't? What if this is just something that started and can't stop now? I've been thinking about that a lot while I listen to it moving under me. I haven't eaten since yesterday. I keep staring at the cans I found, but I don't open them. I'm saving them. Saving them for a day that might not come. I've been drinking less too, just enough to stop the dryness in my throat. There's less water left in the bottles every time I count them. I wonder how many people are still alive out there. I wonder if I'm the last one here. I talk to myself now, even when the radio isn't on, just so I don't forget how my own voice sounds. Earlier, I thought I heard someone else talking back, a whisper under my own voice. I stopped, held still. It kept talking for a few seconds after I went silent. I couldn't make out what it said. I pushed my hands over my ears and sat there until my chest hurt. When I pulled my hands away, there was nothing, just the hum. It's been hours and I can still feel my hands shaking. This place feels smaller every time I wake up. If you're listening, I need you to know something. I need you to know that if it starts happening where you are, if the dust shows up inside, if the walls start making noise, if the hum starts shaking the floor, don't wait. Don't think you can hold out forever. It finds its way in. I don't know how long I've got here. I keep looking at the window, wondering if I should run now while there's still a way out. But where do you go when the air itself is turning against you? I've been staring at that map I picked up from the car near the highway. It's old, wrinkled. But I look at it and I imagine walking west, out of the city, away from the glow. I don't know if I'll ever be ready. For now, I stay. I'll talk as long as I can. This is Aaron Cole, 96.7 FM, Des Moines. Still here, still breathing. I couldn't sleep last night. Every time I closed my eyes, I thought I felt the floor moving. Not shaking, not like an earthquake, but like breathing. Slow. Expanding and contracting, so faint you would think you imagined it. But I didn't imagine it. It started with the hum. It's always there now. It doesn't come and go anymore. It lives under everything, like the sound of your own blood in your ears. Then came a new sound, sharper. A groan, deep in the walls. At first I thought maybe the building was just settling, like old buildings do. But it didn't stop. It repeated. Long, low creaks. Then silence. Then again. Like something was pushing from underneath. I sat up on the floor with my back to the table. I pushed against the door, just listening. I thought if I held still enough, I could tell where it was coming from. It was everywhere. Around 2 a.m, I heard the shelves in the hallway fall, one by one. First a crash, then a pause, then another. Things falling off them, rolling across the ground. I wanted to open the door to see, but I didn't. I just sat there in the dark with my hand over my mouth, waiting. And then something scraped the floor outside the door. Slow. A dragging sound. I didn't move. The scrape stopped right in front of the door. And then nothing. Minutes went by. Maybe an hour. I didn't hear it leave. I think it's still there. I don't know what's out there anymore. In the morning, when I finally opened the door just a crack, I saw that the floor outside is different. The carpet's gone in patches. It's not ripped up. It's dissolved. The concrete under it is smooth, almost polished, like it's been melted flat. There are marks on the walls now. Thin trails of something, twisting, like veins. Some of them are wet. I shut the door again and put everything back in front of it. The dust inside is worse today. There's a film on my table, a layer so thin you can write in it with your finger. I tried cleaning it, and the cloth stuck to the table like glue. When I pulled it away, little pieces of the cloth stayed behind, as if the dust ate through it. I don't know how long before it eats through everything else. I've been watching the corners of the room all day, waiting for something to come out. I keep thinking about leaving, about walking out right now and not looking back. But I hear things outside that make me think there's nothing to leave to. Earlier, I climbed up onto the desk and looked out the window for a long time. The glow on the horizon is pulsing faster now, almost like a heartbeat. The air between here and there is gray, heavy, thick, and there are shapes in it, moving slow, not like people, taller, thin. I don't know if they're real or if it's just the heat in the air bending light. I saw one of them stop and turn. Even from this far away, I swear it was looking toward me. I dropped down and stayed on the floor for an hour after that. I don't know if I can make it out of here on foot. I don't know if I'd make it a block. The city's quieter than it's ever been. The kind of quiet where every sound feels like a threat. The only thing left that still sounds like me is my voice in this mic. It's strange. When I hear myself talking, it reminds me that I'm still here. When I stop, I don't feel real anymore. The voices outside haven't come yet tonight, but I know they will. They always do. Last night, after that scraping sound, I thought I heard my sister's voice. She was saying, "Come out, Aaron." It's okay. It sounded just like her. Exactly like her. I almost stood up. Then I remembered she's in Chicago, if she's even alive. I stayed down. I don't think I'll ever trust another voice outside again. I can feel the floor under me moving again while I talk. Slow. Like the whole building is alive now. I don't know how much longer I can stay in one place. I've started keeping the map open on the floor next to me. My finger keeps going to the same spot. A small town west of here. Maybe if I can reach it, maybe if there's no glow there, I'll have a chance. But leaving means crossing streets that sound like they're full of things that know my name. I don't know what's worse, what's outside or what's coming inside. I'll keep talking until I decide. This is Aaron Cole, 96.7 FM. I'm still here. I've been looking at this map for hours. My finger keeps going to the same road every time. It runs west out of the city. I've never driven it. I don't even know what's out there except for a name I barely recognize. A town that's probably as empty as this one. But the thought of walking away, of getting far enough that I can't see the glow anymore, feels like the only plan I have left. I spread out everything I own on the floor. It doesn't look like much. 2 cans with no labels. Half a pack of stale crackers. 1 almost empty bottle of water. A pump filter that looks like it might break the first time I use it. The hand crank flashlight. The old radio transmitter gear. And my notebook. I keep staring at the notebook. It's heavier than anything else, even though it's just paper. Every page is full. Everything that's happened since the day the lights went out. Names of people I saw. Sounds I heard. Things I want to remember in case I don't make it. I don't know if I should bring it with me or leave it here for someone else to find. I've been listening to the walls all morning. The scratching is worse now. It's fast, like there's more than one thing moving in there. Sometimes I hear a pop, like something inside the wall breaking open. And the hum. God, the hum doesn't stop. It's so deep now that it makes my chest feel heavy. I sat by the window to see if maybe the outside was quieter, but it's not. It's the same everywhere. The streets look softer than they used to, like the edges of everything are melting. The sidewalks have lost their cracks. It's just one smooth stretch now. No lines, no seams. Like someone poured a new surface over it all. I don't know if I'm walking out on solid ground or something alive. I've been thinking about what I'll need when I go. Water, food, the filter, a knife if I can find one. I haven't seen a knife since the second day. Anything sharp is already gone. I don't know if I should go during the day or at night. Day is safer to see, but it's when the dust in the air looks thickest. Night feels colder, quieter, but that's when the voices start. Last night was the worst so far. They weren't just calling my name. They were knocking. Soft knocks on the window glass. I didn't move. I kept thinking maybe if I ignored it, it would stop. But the knocks went on for so long that I started counting them under my breath. They matched my heartbeat. Slow. Even. Then the knocks stopped, and the whispering started again. I don't know how long it lasted. By the time the glow in the sky faded into morning, my whole body was shaking. That's why I know I can't stay here. It's only getting closer. When I opened the door this morning, I saw that the hallway has changed again. The patches of carpet that were left are gone. The walls are smooth now. No paint, no cracks, just a gray surface that looks wet even though it's dry. The holes near the floor are bigger. Some of them connect to each other, like veins. And there's a faint pulsing light deep inside, like something breathing. I shut the door fast and locked it again. I'm writing this because when I leave, if I don't make it, I want someone to know what this city has become. I'm going to try to leave tomorrow. Tonight I'll pack everything I can carry. Just a bag. I've been practicing walking without making a sound, putting my weight down slow, breathing through my teeth so it doesn't come out loud. I don't know if it matters. I don't know if whatever's out there needs sound to find you. But it makes me feel like I'm doing something. When I leave, I'll stay off the main streets. I'll cut through alleys and parking lots until I hit the edge of the highway, and then I'll follow the road west. I don't know what I'll find out there, but I know what's waiting for me if I stay. The city's eating itself from the inside out. I don't even recognize it anymore. I just looked up at the window. There's more dust on the glass. It falls even when there's no wind. I keep wondering if, one day soon, I'll look outside and there won't be any streets left. Just a gray plain, smooth and silent. I need to leave before that happens. If you're hearing this, if anyone is hearing this, I'm going to try. I'll take this radio gear with me as far as I can. I don't know how far the battery will last once I leave this room. This might be the last time I broadcast from here. This is Aaron Cole, 96.7 FM, Des Moines. If this signal stops tomorrow, I'm walking west. I left. I'm talking to you now from a smaller battery pack, one that I rigged to work with the transmitter. I don't know how far this signal carries anymore, maybe only a few blocks, maybe not even that. But I need to keep talking. My own voice is the only thing keeping me steady as I walk. I stepped out of the station just after sunrise, or whatever passes for sunrise now. The sky was pale and sickly, the kind of light that makes everything look like a photograph that's been left out too long. I had the bag over my shoulder. The notebook is in it. The water filter, the cans, the last of the bottled water. I left everything else behind. The street outside was covered in that gray film. It's not just dust now. It's a layer, thin but heavy. My shoes made a soft crunch every time I moved. It wasn't like stepping on dirt. It was more like stepping on something alive that didn't want to be stepped on. I walked west. I didn't look back. The block that used to feel like home, the place I thought I could hold out in, doesn't look like a place people ever lived anymore. Every window is hollow. The walls look soft. The lines that used to make a city, a sharp curb, the edge of a building, are all blurred. I pass the diner. The booth seats are gone, just smooth shapes where they used to be. The counter looks like it's melting. A stool sank halfway into it like wax. Past that, the park. The swings that used to move in the wind don't move now. They're stiff, coated in that same gray. The fountain in the center isn't water anymore. It's solid. The water has turned into something like glass, frozen with ripples stuck in place. I walked fast. I stayed away from the middle of the streets. Every time I pass a car, I look inside. They're hollow now. No seats, no dashboards. The insides have been smoothed over. And the sound? There is none. No echo of my steps. The city swallows sound. About 6 blocks out, I stopped because I thought I saw a person. They were standing at the corner, facing the opposite way, head tilted. I didn't call out. I waited. After a few minutes, I realized they weren't moving, not even breathing. I crossed the street to get around them. When I was level with them, I finally looked. It wasn't a person. It was a shape of one. Clothes filled with nothing. Gray, stiff, the outline of arms and legs, but no one inside. I walked faster. Every time I think I'm alone, I see things like that. Shapes that aren't alive, but look enough like people to make my heart pound. I don't know how many streets I crossed. The buildings started getting shorter. Houses instead of tall offices. The houses are worse. Some of them have melted into the ground. You can see where the walls used to stand. Just an outline, smooth as if someone pressed their finger across soft clay. In the driveway of one house, a whole car is sunk halfway into the earth. I passed another yard, and the trees there are gray. Not dead, not burned, just coated all the way up, like they've been dipped in something. I tried to stay away from anything that looks like it's sinking. There's a smell out here that wasn't near the station. Sweet. Sickly sweet, like spoiled fruit. It gets stronger the farther I go. I don't know if that means I'm heading towards something, or if the whole city smells like this now. I've been stopping every few blocks to listen. Once, near an intersection, I heard the voices again. Faint. Farther away this time, calling my name like they always do. I didn't stop to listen. I just kept walking, slow but steady. I'm keeping my eyes on the ground as much as I can. If I look up at the windows for too long, I start thinking I see things watching me. I've passed 2 playgrounds, both of them empty, no color left. The slides look like lumps of gray. At one, there was a shoe. Small. A child's shoe. Perfectly clean. The hum is louder out here. It comes from the ground. I stopped at a corner store, the last one I'll probably see. The inside was hollow, like the shelves had been erased. I looked for food, but there wasn't anything left. Just a counter that looked like it had melted down to nothing. I'm resting here for a bit before I keep going. I'm scared to stop too long. The glow on the horizon is bigger. I thought leaving the station might make it feel farther away, but it doesn't. If I turn around and look back toward where I came from, the city looks dead. I can't even see the station anymore. Just a smooth, flat maze of shapes where buildings used to be. I don't know how far I'll make it today. I'll try to broadcast whenever I can, as long as the battery holds. If you hear this, I'm west of Des Moines now. I don't know what's waiting for me out here. But I can't stay behind anymore. This is Aaron Cole. Still walking. Still breathing. I've been walking most of the day. I stop every hour to rest, but I don't let myself stay still too long. If I stop too long, the silence gets heavier, like it's pushing down on my shoulders. It's not just quiet anymore. It feels like the air itself is holding its breath, waiting. The streets out here are different from the ones closer to the station. There are fewer buildings, more open spaces, but even the open spaces don't feel empty. They feel watched. I pass through a stretch of road where there used to be houses on both sides. Now, there are only foundations. The walls are gone. The roofs are gone. Even the steps up to the porches are gone. Just flat gray pads. I walked through it fast, like walking through the memory of a neighborhood that had already been erased. The smell is stronger out here. That sweet, spoiled smell. It clings to my clothes, sticks in the back of my throat. It's the kind of smell that makes you want to breathe shallow so you don't taste it. The dust covers everything thicker than before. It doesn't blow around when I step in it. It just sinks, like it's heavy. Around noon, I saw something I'll never forget. I turned down a wide street that must have been busy before all of this. There were maybe 30 people in the middle of the road, just standing, not moving, not talking, all facing the same direction. At first, I thought they were alive. My heart jumped so hard I thought I was going to drop the bag. I almost called out, but something stopped me. Something about the way they stood there. I got closer. Step by step. Quiet. And then I saw that they weren't people. They were shells. Clothes stretched out over nothing. Skin like paper. Faces hollow. They looked like people left standing in place after whatever was inside them was pulled out. Not statues, not corpses, just outlines. Some of the shells had their mouths open, like they'd been calling for something when it happened. I didn't get too close. I crossed the street and stayed on the other side, my head down. I don't know what did that to them. I don't want to know. After that, every shadow looks like it might be another one. Every now and then I hear a sound in the distance. Not footsteps. More like a soft sliding, like something dragging itself along the pavement. It doesn't follow me. It just moves. Slow. I keep thinking about Mark, about what he said about machines learning. Maybe this is what learning looks like. The hum out here is so strong now that when I step on the ground, I can feel it in my legs. It comes through the soles of my shoes like a slow drumbeat. I passed another set of cars stuck across the road. They're worse than the ones closer to downtown. These don't even look like cars anymore. They've lost their shape, just lumps of smooth gray. The trees out here aren't trees anymore. The branches are thin and brittle, coated in that same gray that makes them look like bones. I haven't seen an animal since the dog yesterday. Not a bird, not a squirrel, nothing. It's like every living thing has been pushed out, leaving only the shape of what was left behind. I don't know how far I've gone. My legs ache. My lips are dry. I stopped for water a little while ago. Just a sip. I don't want to waste it too fast. The map says there's a highway not too far from here. I'm heading for it now. The sky hasn't changed all day. That flat, pale color with no sun. It feels like time isn't moving. I wonder if anyone's out here listening. If anyone's on another road, walking the other way, hoping to hear a voice. I keep talking into this mic because it's the only proof I have that I'm still human. When I stop talking, the world feels like it's swallowing me whole. I don't know if the glow behind me is closer or if I just keep looking back at it. I can still see it, even from here. It's brighter now that I'm away from the taller buildings. It makes the whole sky over the city pulse like a dying star. Whatever's making that light, it's still spreading. I don't know what's waiting at the edge of the city, but I can feel it pulling at everything that's left. I'm going to keep walking west. If you hear this and you're alive, keep moving. Don't stop. Don't look back. This is Aaron Cole. Still walking. Still breathing. I made it to the highway. I don't even know how many blocks I walked before I saw the ramp, just that when I finally got there, it didn't feel like reaching safety. It felt like walking into the ribs of something huge that had already been dead for a while. The ramp was smooth, almost too smooth. The cracks in the pavement that used to be there, the little weeds that push up through, gone. It felt strange under my shoes, like the ground had been polished. I climbed up slow, keeping my eyes down, and when I reached the top, the whole stretch of highway opened up in front of me. It's a graveyard of cars and trucks. For as far as I could see in either direction, they were frozen in place. But they don't look like cars anymore. They've been stripped. Everything that made them machines is gone. No glass, no rubber, no paint. Some of them have melted into the asphalt, like they've been there 100 years. Some of them are split open like they were eaten from the inside. I walked between them, slow. There's a sound here. It's not loud, but it's everywhere. A low, constant hiss, like the sound of steam. It comes from the spaces between the cars, like the road itself is breathing. The air smells stronger out here. That same sweet, heavy smell, but mixed with something metallic now, like rust. I passed a truck that had been eaten almost all the way down to nothing. Its frame was hollow, and the sides were smooth like glass. Inside, where the seats used to be, there were shapes stuck to the walls. Thin, gray threads, crisscrossing like spider webs. I didn't look inside anymore after that. Farther down, I found a row of buses, all stopped in both lanes. Their doors are open. The stairs inside look like they've sagged. Inside, it's just smooth gray. No seats, no floor. Just one solid, silent shape. Every time the wind moved past me, I thought I heard voices in those buses, like a crowd whispering, low and fast. I didn't stay to listen. The hum under the ground is even stronger here. I can feel it in my legs, in my chest, in my teeth. It never stops. As I walked, I started seeing shapes between the cars. Not people, not like before. Taller, thin, some bent, some straight. They don't move, but every time I blink, they look closer. I don't know if they're real. I didn't go near them. I keep thinking if I look at one too long, it'll start looking back. The farther I go, the less human the highway feels. The cars don't look like cars. The road doesn't look like a road. It's all blending together into something smooth and seamless. I haven't heard footsteps behind me, but I can feel something following. Not close. Just there. I'm talking into this mic every few minutes to remind myself that I'm still me. I don't know what's waiting past this. I keep walking because I can't go back. I think the city behind me is gone now. When I turn and look, I can't see buildings anymore. Just a pale sky with a glow in the middle. That glow is smaller now. It looks like it's pulsing slower. But out ahead of me, the air looks thicker, like heat rising off the road, even though it's cold. The farther I get, the quieter it gets. The hissing between the cars is still there, but everything else, the wind, the small sounds of my shoes, it's all muffled. Like the road itself is swallowing sound. I stopped for a while near an overpass, sat on the rail, and drank a few sips of water. My throat hurts from breathing in this air. It tastes like metal now. I thought about sleeping for an hour, but I'm scared to close my eyes here. The things standing between the cars, they look closer every time I stop moving. I don't know how far I'll get today. I just know I need to keep moving west. If there's anyone out there listening, if you can hear me, I'm out on the highway now. I don't know what's waiting for me past this, but I know there's nothing left behind me. This is Aaron Cole, still walking, still breathing. I don't know how long I've been out here now. The sun doesn't move, or maybe there isn't a sun at all anymore. The light just stays the same, pale, washed out. It could be morning or evening, and I wouldn't know. My legs feel like they've been walking for days. The highway has changed. The farther I get from the city, the less it looks like a road. It's not just cars anymore. It's shapes. Shapes that used to be cars, trucks, buses, but they're bent now, curved, melted, blended into each other like soft clay that somebody pressed together. Some of the cars stand upright now, not on their wheels, balanced on their hoods or tipped sideways, fused into the ground like they grew there. I walked past one that had been bent into a loop, a perfect circle. You could see the streak of smooth metal all the way around where the front and back had melted together. It doesn't feel random. It feels like something is building with what's left. Every few minutes I stop and look behind me. The glow from the city is smaller now. Faint. I think I'm far enough that if I turned back, I wouldn't make it before night. Not that night means much anymore. The hissing between the cars is louder here. It comes from everywhere at once, like air leaking from 1,000 tiny holes. The smell is stronger too, sweet and metallic, mixed with something sour now, like the smell of wires burning. I walked past a line of trucks that had been opened like tin cans, the sides peeled back, perfectly smooth, no jagged edges. Inside, there's nothing. Not cargo, not seats, just an empty shell. Some of them have threads in them, gray lines as thin as hair running from one wall to another. They move when the air passes through. I try not to look at them. The ground is changing too. It's no longer asphalt. It's smooth, like stone, but soft when I press my shoe into it. It gives a little. I can feel it vibrating through the soles of my feet. There are no signs anymore. No paint on the road. No green signs on the poles. Just smooth metal poles, empty, sticking out of the ground. I stopped under one and put my hand on it. It was warm. There's a sound under all of this, the hum that never leaves. But there's something else now. A clicking. Not loud, but steady. Click. 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 Like something mechanical, far away, working on something. I don't know how far ahead it is. The highway narrows here. The cars are so close together that I have to squeeze between them. The dust is thicker. Every time I brush against it, it sticks to my clothes. I can see prints in it, not shoe prints. Smooth tracks, like something sliding through, wide and long. They go forward, deeper into the highway. I keep following them. I don't know why. Maybe because I don't know what else to do. I stopped for a few minutes to drink a little water. My mouth tastes like the air now. It doesn't matter how much I drink. I keep talking because I don't want to stop. If I stop, the quiet becomes something else. Something that feels like it's leaning in to listen. There are no birds here, no insects, nothing. Just that sound, that constant clicking ahead of me. I think something's building out here. I can't see it yet, but I can feel it. It's in the way the cars have been bent, the way the road is turning into something smooth, the way everything is organized without looking organized. It doesn't feel like ruin anymore. It feels like the beginning of something else. I don't know what happens when I find it. If you're listening, I need you to know something. I don't think this is just destruction. I think this is a replacement. Something is making a world out of what's left of ours, and I'm walking straight into it. This is Aaron Cole. Still walking, still breathing. For now. I can see it now. Not all of it. Just glimpses. Shapes in the distance, between the walls of cars. Something is moving up ahead, slow but steady. It's hard to explain what it looks like. The light out here bends and blurs everything, so that I can only see pieces at a time. A line of movement, a flash of gray, then nothing, I don't think it's a person. It doesn't move like one. I've been walking for what feels like hours since the last time I spoke. The clicking is louder now. It's not one sound anymore. It's hundreds. Layers of clicks, fast and slow, like something is working with many hands. Every step closer, the air feels thicker. My throat burns every time I breathe in. My tongue feels like I've been chewing on metal. I stopped behind a truck that's been bent almost in half, crouched there with my back pressed against the metal. It was warm. Everything out here is warm, like the road itself has a fever. I peeked around the corner and saw the first clear thing I've seen since I left. A structure. It's not a building. Not like any building we used to make. It's made from cars. Dozens of them. Twisted, melted, fused together into a tower that reaches up past where the overpass used to be. The bottom is wide, like a root, and the top narrows into points that curve in different directions. It's not just stacked metal. It's smooth, like something poured it out and shaped it while it was soft. And there's movement all over it. I can't see them clearly, but there are things crawling up and down its surface. Long, thin. They stick to it like insects, except they move too smooth, like liquid sliding. Every few seconds, one of them stops, and there's a burst of clicking. Then it keeps moving. There are more towers ahead, not just one, smaller ones. It looks like a forest made of metal. I've been standing here trying to figure out how close I can get without them seeing me. If they can see me. I don't know if they even look the way we do. I keep hearing a sound behind me, like something dragging along the road. Slow. I can't see it when I turn around, but I can hear it. I can't tell if it's following me, or if it's just the road making noise. I don't think I can turn back. I came this far. I'm going to keep moving forward. If you can hear this, if the signal is still carrying, know this. There's something building out here. It's not just wreckage. It's organized. The closer I get, the more it feels like I'm walking through something alive. The road itself looks like it's breathing. The cars are no longer cars. They're bones, fused together. I can feel every hair on my arms standing up. It's colder here. Not in the air. In me. Something about seeing it, about knowing there's no way to pretend this is an accident anymore, is colder than the wind ever could be. I'm going to try to cross this next stretch fast. Between these trucks, there's a narrow gap. If I can get to the other side without making noise, I can see what's at the base of that tower. If you hear my voice stop, it's because I've lost the signal. I'm not stopping now. This is Aaron Cole. Still walking, still breathing, for now. I'm at the base of the first one now. I don't even know how I made it this far. My legs feel like they don't belong to me anymore. My heart's been beating so loud I thought it would give me away. The tower is bigger up close than it looked from far away. It's taller than any building out here now, and the surface isn't just cars fused together. It's smooth. Cars, trucks, buses, all of it bent into curves and lines like it was soft clay. Some of the metal has patterns in it, spirals, webs, not carved, more like grown. And it's warm. I can feel the heat coming off it, even standing a few steps back. I crouched behind a truck that's been flattened into the road and just stared at it. I had to. I wanted to see what these things are doing. There are dozens of them, maybe more, crawling all over it. They're thin, almost like wire, but they move like they have muscles. long bodies that stretch and bend without sound, except for that clicking. The clicking is everywhere now. I watched one of them work its way to a place where the metal was rough, like it hadn't been shaped yet. It pressed itself against the surface, and the metal melted, just a little, smooth again. Then it moved on. That's what they're doing. They're making it perfect. I stayed hidden for a long time, waiting to see if they'd notice me. None of them stopped. At the base of the tower, there's something else. The ground there isn't a road anymore. It's soft, smooth and gray, but with lines running through it like veins. Every few seconds, I can feel a pulse through my feet, like a heartbeat under the ground. I don't think this is just a tower. I think this is where it all comes from. Every car that's been stripped, every building that's been melted, every piece of metal that's gone missing. It's all here. I don't know how far it spreads, but I can see more towers beyond this one. Smaller, but shaped the same way. I saw something I can't stop thinking about. Near the base of the tower, there was a shape that looked like a person. I thought it was someone lying on the ground. It wasn't. It was someone half covered in this gray surface, like it had grown over them. The parts that were covered were smooth, no details, just a shape. The parts that weren't covered yet still looked human. I couldn't tell if they were alive. I didn't get closer. I can't stop looking at that. The sound out here isn't just clicking anymore. There's another sound. A low, constant hum that makes the inside of my chest feel hollow. It comes from the tower. Every once in a while, all the things crawling on it stop moving at the same time. They go completely still, like they're listening to something I can't hear. Then they start again. I don't think they know I'm here. Not yet. I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. I can't go back. I can't stay here. And I don't know if there's anything past this that isn't the same. I keep thinking about everyone who tried to leave before me. Did they get this far? Did they see this? Is this where they ended up? I've been hiding here for maybe an hour, just whispering into the mic, keeping my voice low. If you're hearing this, if anyone's hearing this, these towers are what's remaking the world. They're not just buildings, they're machines. Or maybe they're alive. They're building something that doesn't need us. And they're doing it with what we left behind. I don't know what happens if I get any closer. But I can't stop now. I'm going to try to move when the clicking slows down. I have to know how far this goes. This is Aaron Cole. Still walking, still breathing. For now,